Welcome to Fright Night.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Antwoord Movie Mania, and today we are talking Fright Night Part 2. Now for the people that don't know Fright Night Part 2, it's obviously the sequel to Fright Night, which has an amazing cult following. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about Fright Night Part 2, I'm going to give you a plot synopsis, I'm going to show you the trailer for it, and a behind the scenes featurette. So let's get into it. So, Fright Night Part 2 came out in 1988 with returning characters of William Ragsdale as Charlie, Roddy McDowall as Peter Vincent, then we have Julie Carmen as Regine the Vampire, and as a sidekicks we've got Russell Clark as Belle the Vampire, John Grise as Louis the Werewolf, and the bodyguard as Brian Thompson as Bosworth. You'll notice Brian Thompson because he's been in numerous things, from Buffy the Vampire Slayer as Luke, and Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. So, Fright Night Part 2 takes place 3 years after the events of Fright Night, with Charlie Brewster in college now and Peter Vincent still doing his talk show Fright Night. But what we do see at the beginning is that Charlie has spent the last 3 years in therapy, believing that now Jerry Dandridge is a serial killer and not a vampire, and that he's killed his friend Ed, and he kidnapped his girlfriend Amy at the time, which we do see in Fright Night. But then Charlie has convinced himself that Jerry Dandridge isn't a vampire, so he's got rid of all his weapons, all his stakes, the belief that vampires aren't real. So that is the main focus of the film. But as the film starts to unfold, we see Regine and all the sidekicks, Belle, Louis, Bosworth, move into Peter Vincent's apartment block. And from there, Charlie starts seeing all these things unravel, and he comes to believe that vampires are starting to feel real again. But what we do learn through the film is that Regine is Jerry Dandridge's sister, and that she is out for revenge. So she starts to turn Charlie slowly into a vampire so she can make him a slave and take it out on him forever. So through the film, we start to see all these changes in Charlie, starting to hate garlic, the sunlight, all his friends come missing, all these subtle things that through the film we know that's happening. And then Peter starts to come convinced, well, he does come convinced because Regine tells him the whole story of why she's after Charlie. But that is all I'm going to say about the film, because I don't want, if you haven't seen the film, I don't want to spoil all of it. I'll just give it a certain little plot point, and I won't give too much away, because if you haven't seen it, please do see it because it's amazing. But what I will say is here is a trailer for Fright Night Part 2, so enjoy.
Welcome to Fright Night.
You could say that again, partner.
Yes, Fright Night Part 2.
It's happening again.
Such a thing simply couldn't happen twice, Charlie.
Can I have a bite?
It is happening again.
Here come the vampires.
Got off the slab at the morgue just to be here tonight.
And there goes the neighborhood.
I can hardly go breaking into my neighbors' apartments, accusing them of being vampires.
That hurts.
They'll stop at nothing to get what they came for.
I'd kill for a cup of coffee.
Enjoy a delicious evening of thrills and chills. Come join in the devilish doings of Fright Night Part 2 as Roddy McDowall returns to do the job he does best.
I kill vampires.
Fright Night Part 2. You scream your head off.
So that was the trailer for Fright Night Part 2. Unfortunately, it didn't get the theatrical release it truly deserved because of all the problems behind the scenes with companies not wanting to do it, change of people all the time, and it just didn't get that cinematic release. It just went to a select couple of cinemas and it got straight to VHS. Now, if you want to buy it, you have to buy it on a bootleg. You can't buy it officially because they never released it. It just went straight to VHS, so everything has been transferred over to DVD and Blu-ray. So if you want to buy it, you're going to have to like go on some specialist sites or eBay, stuff like that. But I did buy a bootleg. So this is mine. There's the front. There's the back. I really like the covers, like. And there is the inside case. Pretty much the same as the outside. But there you go. So that is my bootleg kit. But as I did promise you at the beginning of the video, now here's a special featurette behind the scenes. Enjoy.
Including Fright Night Part 2, which bears its fangs this weekend.
Action! We all need daylight.
Roddy McDowall and William Ragsdale are at it again, pursuing deadly vampires. They range from the comically grotesque.
Yes, I'd like a pedicure, a manicure, and a weave, and how about a henna?
For veteran actor Roddy McDowall, Fright Night 2 is a chance to have fun all over again as the TV horror show host obsessed with real-life demons.
I loved the character in the first movie. It was a very unusual character. I'd never played anything like that before. It's a wonderful assignment to play a man who is actually a dreadful actor. I mean, it's provocative and interesting to create.
And this one, it's much more complex. I mean, it's denial and you know, affirmation and jumping back and forth.
Some comic relief with its horror.
And that is it. That was my trailer, behind the scenes featurette. As always, I am Antwood Movie Maniac. This was my review of Fright Night Part 2. I really hope you enjoy it. And as always, leave your comments, your likes, subscribe. As always, I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and I'll see you later.